Today, I'd like to speak about something that often gets misunderstood on the awakening path: integration. Because sometimes the integration phase isn't the calm, tidy part of the journey that we might often imagine. Sometimes in this part of the phase, you might actually feel like you're going backwards. For most of us, the integration phase follows what feels like a challenging period of time. I often refer to this in my own life as a dip, where things feel challenging. I often notice old patterns resurfacing. And the common question when this happens is, oh no, I thought I'd healed this. Why are we revisiting it? But what I've learned is actually it's something very different. Healing doesn't move in a straight line. It moves in a spiral, as I've talked about before. And each time you come back to something that feels familiar, an old belief, an old wound, an old version of yourself, you're meeting that part from a different level of awareness. So it can feel intense whilst in it, even though you're actually more resourced than you've ever been before. And for me, integration often shows up when I butt up against something old. An old, really deeply embedded belief. A reaction. A way of being that once fitted and no longer does. And that can often be triggered by someone or something or a situation. And in the moment that it happens, it can feel uncomfortable, challenging. There could be some resistance to it. But I've learnt now that instead of trying to push this away, I just allow myself to notice it, to observe. I observe what's happening externally in my reality, and I also ask, where is this living inside of me? And then I go into finding a feeling and just fully honouring, allowing and acknowledging whatever feeling is there. So the triggers in this phase are actually invitations. If somebody or something triggers you, see this as an opportunity. It means a part of you is being asked to be seen. And once it's seen, fully acknowledged and allowed, it can be dissolved, it can move through you. Integration is the opportunity and the moment when we stop casting parts of ourselves out that we've buried over the years through shame, fear, or embarrassment. And instead we really turn towards them. We welcome them in. A belief is just a thought that's been thought many, many times. It's been thought so many times that it feels like the truth. And when integration happens, it invites a new question. Is this actually true, this belief, or whatever it is? Or was it a story that I needed once to survive, to belong, to stay safe? So when something triggers us in our external reality, and we really allow ourselves to go inwards, to notice where we feel it in the body, to really notice the energy of it, what emotion is there, and to fully allow it, we can often find ourselves relating to an old part, an old version of us, one that we pushed away, one that was probably in a situation where they felt shame or some other negative emotion. And because our whole system didn't want to experience that again, we push that part out into the cold and we move forward without it. So integration is asking us to reintegrate all of these parts that we pushed out into the cold. And this is an opportunity to do that. Each one of those parts did their best they could with the information they had at the time. And integration isn't about fixing them, it's about loving them, really seeing them, and bringing them back into wholeness, the wholeness of who you are. I'm filming this video beside a fountain today and watching as the water moves, as it breaks apart and rises and the wind takes it round. A rainbow appears. I notice that the rainbow isn't there despite the movement. It appears because of it, as the light is moving through the water. In the same way, our wholeness doesn't come from avoiding the disruption and avoiding the uncomfortableness. It's revealed through it. It's alchemized into something beautiful. And integration isn't a one-time event. It's not something we complete and then move on from. Although it can feel like that in the cycle that we're in. It's a living, ongoing process. And the more embodied we become, more honest, more whole, the easier it gets. And each time we meet ourselves with compassion instead of judgment, we come home a little more to the vastness of our true authentic selves. So if you find yourself in a dip right now, if something old is asking for your attention, see if you can soften, see if you can open, see if you can get curious. Because it's not regression, it's remembrance. And the more light that comes in, the more shadows are exposed. It's the natural process. You don't need to rush it. Integration happens in its own time. And you will move through this.